In this episode, we're joined by Miguel Jimenez, co-founder of SeeMeSign, a tech startup that automates contract verifications. Their tagline says it all: no need for a call center ever. Miguel, it was great seeing you in Lisbon for Charge Europe. Please welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for having me.
So the title of the podcast today is Fraud Prevention Tools for the Energy Sector. So let's kick things off by discussing fraud. What do the numbers look like?
So the numbers are different depending on the company and depending on their sales channels. The biggest amount of fraud that we see coming in is from our companies that do door-to-door sales. And door-to-door sales are very effective in bringing new customers. But because of some fraud that has been seen in many states in the United States, the states require a third party to verify the sale to make sure that it's not fraudulent. And that's where we come in. There are many third-party verification companies that they are still using technology from the 90s. Mainly what they do is they call the customer on the phone and they record the conversation, right? And that meets the state requirements. But what we're doing is bringing that industry to today's technology and AI, the era of AI, right? And what makes this different is that we automate the what they call the welcome call or verification call by doing it over your phone, and we video record the conversation as well. And what this does, it reduces fraud because now, well, we have the person on video and it's easier to verify that they are who they say they are.
Share any case studies or examples where misunderstanding, poor sales tactics, or fraud have harmed any energy company's reputation?
We have different situations. One where the sales rep at the door might not tell you everything about the contract or might not be clear enough. And then when the customer finds out that what they told them was not true, they get upset. And the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to go with another company. So they're going to cancel with you. But also mouth-to-mouth communication between customers is very powerful, either for good or for bad as well. So that could damage your brand by having a bad reputation.
And I'm sure there's also legal ramifications.
Yes. So if a customer complains to the state, that could trigger an audit, and it is very time consuming and very expensive. So that's why you want to prevent those, but also it could trigger a lawsuit, right? We in 2020, specifically in the United States, we had a company that had to go through a class action lawsuit, and they had to settle for $60 million. So it can be very expensive, and those lawsuits can actually be prevented in our case by having a video recording, because once you send a video recording to the customer and they see themselves agreeing to a certain price or a certain contract, it settles the matter right there, because I mean it's very difficult to deny something that you have said on video, right?
Yeah, what feedback have you had from the customers themselves who are signing up?
So sometimes they are surprised, but if the sales rep explains that this is for their own protection, then they're happy. If they explain that this is to prevent fraud, right? Then we don't see any problems. The main thing that we can see is maybe a lady trying to fix her hair because now she's going to be on video, right? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Can it also be applied to the solar industry? I mean, are there other industries that SeeMeSign, this automated contract verification, can be applied to?
Yes, we actually have customers in the solar industry as well, but this can be applied to anything where you sign a contract, right? When somebody purchases any service or product, the sales rep will usually say, okay, just sign here, here, and here, and they do. And very rarely they will actually read the contract, right?
Yeah, that makes total sense. And to wrap up, what practical advice would you give our listeners to help them prevent fraud?
To prevent fraud, you have to make sure that your sales reps are honest and worthy of trust. But sometimes the sales reps will say anything and everything to make the sale, right? That's why you need a tool to keep them honest, because if they know that their sale is going to be followed up by a series of questions, then they're going to make sure that they explain everything correctly. So also they don't lose the sale, because once they lose the sale, they lose the commission as well, right? But just to wrap up, so the main benefits of using SeeMeSign as a TPV solution is that we can save you money, because we save you in human resources. You have to have less people, right? One thing that feedback that we've received from our customers is that they've been able to increase their cancellations, reduce their cancellations between 5 to 15%, and compared to doing a welcome call on the phone. And we were thinking, well, what's the reason why? I mean, the questions are the same. Why are they reducing cancellations? And the only thing that we can think of is because of a video recording. Because once you are on video, you are more committed to that sale, right? So that's a great benefit of doing a video recording with SeeMeSign. And then you're protecting your reputation and by reducing customer unhappiness, and also reducing bad Google reviews, because one of the issues with Google reviews is that they don't expire. They're there forever unless the customer removes them, right? So it's something they have to be very aware of. And also we prevent lawsuits before they even happen, right?
That's great. Thank you so much, Miguel. It was lovely chatting to you.
Of course, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.